there was a big deal between Rivian and Uber, which is potentially worth up to, I think, $1.25 billion, where Uber would buy 50,000 R2 vehicles for autonomous driving. Uh, what are your thoughts? You've been calling for something somewhat similar, somewhat different for a very long time. So I know you have a lot to say about this.
Yeah. Okay. Where do I begin? So, so, so let's talk about Uber's strategy for a moment, which
And
they
also, I think it's important. Sorry, I think it's important to mention that you used to be an Uber shareholder as well, so you
yes,
had a lot of
yeah,
stake and a lot of opinions on Uber.
yeah. And when I realized what Dara and Uber's strategy is for self-driving, because they have recognized that self-driving and robotaxis is the future. Uh,
Yeah.
but the strategy in which they are taking is very different than one that I would take. And I sort of put out an open letter to Dara saying that, like, I think you need to own the full stack and of self-driving and robotaxis. And what is the full stack? In my view, the full stack is comprised of three things. One is the vehicle itself, which probably needs to be electric, but it needs to have all of the self-driving hardware capabilities and computing power and all of that capability on board. So that's the vehicle. The second piece that you need is the software to self-drive the vehicle. And then the third piece that you need is the rideshare network, which Uber has. Uber has the largest ride-sharing network and customer base in the third one. So those are the three components, and those are the three parts of the full stack, as I would consider the robotaxi full stack to be. Tesla's strategy is to build all three components themselves. They obviously have the hardware, meaning the vehicles with the hardware for self-driving built into the cars and cameras and all that. And they've been building full self-driving software for the past 10 years, and they're very close to it finally, despite Elon's promises over the past 10 years that they're basically months away. They probably actually are months away now, finally. Uh,
Mhm.
so they have the second. What they don't have is uh, the ride-sharing network. And to me, that's the easiest part to build if you have the other two pieces. Meaning, if you for Uber to come into existence, it needed to have two sides of a marketplace. It needed to have lots and lots of drivers in order for the customers to come, and it needed to have customers in order for lots of drivers to get excited to come to make money, right? So without both sides of the equation, it's very difficult to enter this market. This is why the entire market has come down to just two companies, Uber and Lyft, and nobody else can compete in this space anymore. But once it becomes a one-sided market, meaning if you have the vehicles and the software, you can put hundreds or thousands of them into a market at any given moment, right? Like if once Tesla figures it out, they can just all of a sudden launch 1,000 vehicles in Phoenix and increase it to 10,000 the following week if it works, right? So the drivers, they have the control in that variable. That's the self-driving vehicles. What they don't have is the customers. And to get the customers, it's relatively easy because they could just offer a lower priced ride or free rides until they build the customer pattern to change, and then all of a sudden they have the customers. So I think Tesla's strategy in this in the future of robotaxis is the sound, better strategy. Uber has decided that it is going to partner with everyone and their mother. This is the sort of Android strategy of we'll bring the network to you, but like put your vehicle onto our platform, and we'll offer all the robo taxis. We'll offer Lucid and Waymo, and now Rivian if uh, once they're there. And that strategy uh, is flawed in my opinion. It's not going to work. It has major drawbacks. They don't control the entire stack, and therefore they can't iterate as quickly on changing the hardware, changing the software, changing the network all at the same time, where Tesla is going to crush them essentially. So that's kind of like the way I see it. The second best strategy is Waymo's, which is, they have the second part, they have the software, and they have their own ride sharing app and network.
Mhm.
So the only piece Google is missing, Google's Waymo is missing, is the vehicles themselves, which they have partnered with others to make. So this investment from Uber into Rivian is good for Rivian. They get $300 million right away, somewhat of a guarantee that they'll buy 10,000 vehicles from them if they get the self-driving working by 2028, and that could expand to 50,000 vehicles, and it could expand to $1.25 billion of total investment into the company. This is not bad for Rivian. Unless Rivian had to agree not to do robotaxis on their own, it's not bad for Rivian, because it's just extra cash, which they need, and it's more interest in their vehicles, which is never a bad thing. So this is sort of a one-sided deal in my view. It's good for Rivian. It's not amazing, because $300 million is not that much. 1.25 billion over 5 years, again, not that much of a cash commitment, but it's better than nothing for Rivian. So that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, it seems like Uber's future moat is fairly shallow, meaning what do they have that's special, that their app is already on a bunch of people's phones,
Right.
and but like it's too easy to download a new app, to
Right.
log in with your Google or Apple account, right? You
That's
don't
right.
even need to fill out any forms, and
Pay
all
with
of
your Apple
these,
Pay.
right. And all of these companies that are working on self-driving are software engineering companies. They could easily develop an app if they don't have one already.
100%. 100%. So
So,
what Uber is bringing to the table is relatively simple to make once you have the drivers. Essentially, in the two-sided network, what they have is pretty sound, and they have an incredible moat around it. But in a world where the drivers are not an issue anymore because they're self-driving vehicles, then all of a sudden their advantage goes away. And and by the way, in the future, you might not even need to download an app. You might be able to just tell your AI, "Hey, can you get me a car?" And your AI will figure out what's the best, who has the least amount of delay, because that's the customer-driven portion of this is price, safety, and availability, probably in that order, right? Like you want a safe
maybe safety
vehicle,
first.
maybe safety first for people who price is not as important. But if the safety is better than human, for example, then price might become more important to a lot of people, especially depends on their finances, right? So it's going to be a combination of those three things that drives it. How quickly can the car get here? How safe is it? And how cheap is it?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to drive consumer behavior. And my AI is going to figure out which of these vehicles or which service it's going to use if there's more than one, right? Um, so yeah, I see Uber not playing a major part in this if you fast forward 10 years from now.